Guten Abend aus dem etwas verwaisten Konzerthaus. Dies ist ein Lockdown-Pop-Up-Konzert. Aber bei diesem Konzert wird keine Musik gemacht. Dafür spreche ich mit Axel Schacher und Antoine Lederlin, zwei Mitglieder des Belcea Quartetts. Und weil es ein internationales Quartett ist, machen wir das auf Englisch. Axel and Antoine, thank you so much. We have to say, it is after 10 o'clock at night. You have been traveling and rehearsing all day. It's frankly amazing that you're still upright. Where do you come from today?
So we were in Frankfurt this morning, and yesterday we played in Luxembourg. So we traveled after the concert to Frankfurt, we slept there shortly, and we left by train.
By train?
We try.
These days we don't have planes anymore, so we have to take the trains,
Other
which is
solutions.
nice. It's nice.
So tell me, how's the last year been for you?
Very calm. We had a lot of time to make some gardening, we spent a lot of time with our kids. Both of us, we have small kids.
You know them much better now?
Yes, no, I remember their name.
Yeah, I mean, it was at least all this chaos in our professional life brings some really happiness and calm time with the family. So we had a positive side of it, definitely.
Assuming that in a few months we can hear concerts again, and when I was privileged to listen to your recording just now, and there were only a few people in the hall, and I thought, God, this is so great. You should actually get more people in the hall. And then I thought, you could sell tickets for that. And I sort of came up with an idea that somebody else has already come up with. But what do you think when you come back and do normal concerts? Do you think something will have changed for you as musicians?
Certainly we will appreciate it with a different point of view than before, where when it was just normal to play concerts every day and we didn't think about it anymore. I mean, coming on stage and having often a full hall was normal. Now, when we have 50 people, or like yesterday 100, it feels like we have a great audience. So definitely will change something. Coming on stage after years of normal life, probably will maybe forget a bit this period, hopefully.
Yeah, it's funny how the routine that we had suddenly it becomes exceptional. No, I mean, each event like that becomes. I mean, we haven't played concerts since 4 months, 5. I don't know. I don't remember. Yesterday was the first. This week we record here, and yeah, it's the first project in months. So yeah, we feel a bit privileged now. Yeah.
A lot of people feel, and I certainly feel, that music has actually become more important, more essential.
Well, say that to the politics.
Not easy, eh?
I'm not sure it's their point of view. I mean, of course, we are not going to now to speak about coronavirus because it's enough. I mean, we speak about that since 1 year only. Of course, we have a feeling of, I mean, that culture is always the first that is sacrificed a bit because it's perhaps easier, but
doesn't have a very professional lobby.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah.
We feel a bit left aside since a few months, but you know, it's also how it is, and we somehow understand part of the reasons why concerts are not happening, although in some countries they are happening, so we are not sure exactly the reasons. But it's like this, and we all feel that music is necessary. If at least people feel in themselves that they need music, it's maybe the most important for them to go back to concert halls and have even more pleasure, appreciate more the moment. That's all we can wish.
To get away from the last year and coronavirus, a string quartet is probably the greatest adventure four musicians can begin. And you start knowing each other so well. You spend a lot of time with each other. You know far more, perhaps a psychiatrist may know as much about somebody else as members of a string quartet do. You communicate a lot through music about yourself that you don't do verbally. How is it when your ensemble all of a sudden has two different people in it who are wonderful musicians in their own right, but do things differently.
Well, it's always the same. When you want to understand the difference and to take it as an input, then it's fantastic. And Tabea and Jean-Guyen, wow, we cannot dream better than them for playing this sextet. And because they have a very different view, then it's like a couple. You try to be richer, to take the differences as a. Help me, je suis fatigué.
Now, what was great is that we learn a lot actually from them, and it feels, because we're so used to work together, the four of us, and we know almost sometimes before colleagues say something that they were going to say.
They're going to say that, yes.
And having other ideas, other way of practicing, other little exercises, all these things that we have inside the group, which from memory, and suddenly you have a lot of new things. It's really very interesting, and we appreciate that even more, than, especially now that we are not even playing quartet, so now we play sextet, so it's a double bonus. But yes, it's amazing to share that with great musicians like that, and we feel that how important it is to do it together. These are things you can't do alone at home. Even reading books, listening to music, it's not the same. You have to share these moments, to try together, to understand the phrase, to play it, to try things. All this process is really necessary, and it's such an exchange, really.
Are there moments of culture shock when you play together and somebody comes with an idea about a phrase, a tempo or so, where you say, I can't do that at all?
No, we never say we can't do that.
We don't want to do that.
No. Never. I mean, it's the principle that you try. You try because you are not used to it, but it can be very interesting. It can be something completely new you didn't think about, and even if your instinct at first doesn't agree with that, then you can learn how to appreciate as well. I mean, it's we never say we don't want or we can't or we try.
We avoid that. I mean, the very fact that something is new makes it a bit uncomfortable in the beginning. You have to, especially music, which is a lot of instinct. I mean, of course, we try to know and learn things, but there's a lot which is coming from what we feel. And of course, when we have then somebody asks you something really different than what you feel, it's a bit weird. But we know that it's a process which is so interesting, and trying things and actually absorbing them can really offers you so many other things.
It's what you call experience, Finally, you
integrate,
adapt everything around.
But so the end result is something that you don't know at the beginning yet of that process.
Actually, we were thinking a few days ago when we started to rehearse with them. We don't know how it will sound because they play differently. They have other backgrounds, other way of playing, vibrato sound, bow speed. I mean, everything you want is slightly different, and you don't know what it will produce. It's like mixing things, and you don't know the final result. But it's also so fun.
And we ask them. We chose to play with them. So it's not like two people that It's so we because we like their way of playing. We like. All they do when we listen to concerts, so we have a very positive approach of all this process.
That was actually noticeable. Although you are tired, and although it was a long day, and you played 2 whole works, there was a lot of laughter. You were obviously having a good time.
Yes, we do, and that you never know really before how it's going to happen. Because we know Tabea Zimmermann and Jean-Guyen, but we have Tabea. It's the first time we play with her. You never know really, if it will work humanly. Because music, of course, it's instinct and everything. But when you spend days and days rehearsing, it's human as well, and we forget very often about that. And I must say, it's going really as well as we could really hope And yes, we have a good time. We have, and then when you have a good time, the rehearsals somehow are even more positive. It brings you, so much enthusiasm and yeah.
Had you both played those works before?
Yeah.
Many times?
Not so often.
It's not what we play the most,
No.
let's say, but we play them, yes, of course.
I think we
Quite
played it
times.
once, 8 years ago or 7 years ago, the G major.
Here.
Yeah. Yeah. But not the B flat.
So, last question on a long night, what lies ahead when things start going again? Have you got plans for a new repertoire or a new approach?
We've got a lot of plans, but we don't want to think about them too much because we're tired of cancelling them. So, yeah, we have always, we try always to find a balance between new things or things we haven't played since a very long time, to also change the repertoire and play some works we know better, to have this balance, not only new repertoire, because it also takes a lot of time to integrate this music and to really own it. So we can't have 20 new pieces a year. We try to find good ideas of combinations. It takes time actually to try to produce good programs.
It's funny, we realized going on stage again that of course there is a routine of playing a lot of concerts, the routine of being on stage physically. You have to be trained just mentally, physically to play 2 hours without being too tired. we are not used to that anymore. It's funny how
you noticed that.
Oh yeah, completely.
Is that a matter of training?
Oh yeah, just physically, just it's stupid. I mean, we're not running 100 meters, but yes, there is something, and also concentration to last 2 hours instead of of 10 minutes. I don't know. It's really it's funny. I didn't expect that. As much.
It feels we're using too much energy for what we're doing, and the more you repeat this process of concert, the less you need actually, and you do just what's necessary, what's useful. But when you arrive after a long time without playing, everything is almost too much. I mean, and it's tiring, but it's great at the same time.
Are you more nervous when you play after not having played for a while?
It depends. It happened even in the past when we had sometimes a 2-month break and you arrive in a big hall and you think you have to play good and to play actually less good than you can. And sometimes after a few concerts, it's already completely different. The feelings on stage are different. So it's difficult to plan that as well. It happens.
But we are super happy to save this project, as at least the recording. The concert house is landing as a whole.
I think the concertos is super happy that you came here to record it.
Well, listen, and then it's two ways, and it's great. And yes, because this project meant a lot for us. Yes, and we are relieved.
Why this particularly? I mean,
well, for me personally, because it's stupid, but I've heard this B flat sextets in my family with my grandmother and my grandfather were loved Brahms, and so this is a part of the familial culture somehow.
They played as well.
They didn't play it, but I remember the Casals and we had 2 versions at home, Casals and Minuin, and they used to listen to that a lot, and so I don't know, this has grown with me when I was a kid, and so it's a nice.
Are you looking for that sound now when you're playing, or is it so much your own that it no longer touches you?
No, it touches us, but it's just, you cannot imitate Minuin. I mean, you cannot imitate Casal. I mean, it's not the point. I mean,
you can't look for the sound of the others.
No.
It's actually not possible. I mean, you can try to understand what they meant, but in the end, you always have your way of playing. I mean, it's
and it's funny how the aesthetic is. I mean, it has changed so much. I mean, dramatically, and sometimes for good, sometimes for for less good, really.
Actually, one thing that I really want to talk to you about, because it's so characteristic of your playing and it gives so much richness to your playing, is how you use vibrato or don't use vibrato. And
this requires a lot of time to talk about.
Well, I'm even not sure we have an answer, but it's because vibrato is, in our case, extremely instinctive, and we very often think that we don't use it well.
It's
somehow.
a debate we have often. we talk about it sometimes, but there are many other times where we avoid the subject. Because vibrato, I mean, in our group is a little bit, it comes how it comes. So of course, sometimes we plan to do it differently, but if you start really pointing out, here you shouldn't vibrate, or less, or more, we lose a bit of spontaneity as well, and we have to, at some point, to do how we feel things. I mean, we cannot plan every note. So there is a bit of deciding details, and also a lot of playing how it comes in the end.
Yeah. It's also this instinct, this spontaneity, it's life. I mean, it shouldn't be just hidden.
Well, you shouldn't be just hidden either. And this house needs you, and this house wants you back.
And we need this house.
So once you've got your condition back and can play happily for 2 hours, please come back a lot.
We'll do a bit of sports.
Yes, you work out in every way possible. We're looking for the complete Beethoven quartets in one evening. Then we know that you are really in good condition.
You are going to be tired before us.
But thank you very much that you made the time after such a long day to speak to us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you.